Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome to Mind Matters 2020. And we are excited that you have joined us today. Good morning, good morning, good morning. For some reason, we're having some technical difficulties here, but we're going to make sure that we have this fixed here properly. Well, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Mind Matters 2020. This is Antonio Carter with Mind Matters 2020, and we're excited that you have joined us today. We are excited that you have joined us today. I tell you, we're here helping one another to do what? To develop, grow, and expand. Develop, grow, and expand. We have some delays going on here with Facebook today for some odd reason, but we're going to function. We're going to keep moving forward. And we are going to make sure that we are sharing with you what it is that has been placed upon our hearts today. It has been a great week. I hope you had a great week. I hope you had a progressive and a productive week as we have. All right, we're going to get started. I'm not going to hold you guys long. I just want to share something with you that came to my mind, and I wanted to share that with you today. All right, so let me just make sure that our mic is on here and we are working. You all let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know that you can hear me and you hear me clearly. All right, all right, all right. We're just going to put our information in here this morning. And we're promoting thought, consciousness, and self-awareness. Remember that. That's why we're here. That's our purpose, and so that's why we're here functioning. That's, I believe, and I share this every time I come on. I believe that I have been graced with the anointing or the ability. Some call it anointing. I call it grace. Been graced with the ability to help people think. It's taken me a while to get to this point on my journey, but I have embraced it. I'm walking in it. I will continue to live in it. I'm going to keep abiding in it. I'm going to keep adding to it. I believe that there are some other things that are necessary for me to help people along their journey. So there are some things that I'm pursuing. One of them is life coaching. I'll be working on that in the month of May. Well, actually, this month going into May. And also, we're going to be furthering our career in psychology. So I'm looking and geared toward child psychology. And it's a reason why I chose that is because it's just in line while catching the youth while they're young, catching young people while they're young, catching them while they're young. Because we do understand as young people, we were taught a lot. And we came in with this innocence. I believe that was hijacked. I believe that it was infiltrated. I believe that we were given thoughts that are really not originally ours. And so my assignment is to help people to get to their original thought. What do you really think about a situation? And not so much as what someone has told you or what someone has shared with you, but I want you to find out what your original thought is. What is happening in you? What do you believe? What do you not believe? Because a lot of times we believe things based upon what someone else believed or someone told us. Mother, father, sister, brother, grandmother, grandparents. They've taught us all of these things that they knew. But I want people to begin to think from within themselves. Think inwardly. How do you feel about a situation? Because sometimes you don't feel the same as grandmother or grandfather or mother or father felt in their prime of their life. You may feel something totally different, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing demonic about that. There's nothing satanic about that. There is nothing befalling about that. There's nothing wrong with you thinking your own thoughts and your original thought because it was given to you by divine source, by all creation, and by God. And so you have to begin to go within in order to see what you see, How do you feel about situations? And so this morning, I wanted to share something with you. I went into Genesis, actually, chapter number 15, verse number 5, and I'm going to read it to you from the Message Bible. And I thought it read very clear where it says, let me just go here, where it says, then he took him outside and said, look at the sky, count the stars, count the stars. Can you do it? Question. Count your descendants, quote. You're going to have a big family, Abraham. And so here it is, Spirit, divine source, all creation, God, you, showing Abraham the stars and said to him, count the stars, count the stars, count the stars, count the stars, count the stars. Here it is, God had to tell Abram to come out. He said, Abram, come out. Look to the stars and count. What do you think God was doing here with Abraham? He was helping Abram, because before he was Abraham, use the power of his mind. He was helping him to use the power of his mind. In other words, he's showing Abram that you have a mind of your own. But I am helping you to see that you can think, Abraham. I want you to think, Abram, outside of what you see. I want you to think from within Abram. I want you to see from within Abram and begin to see things, Abram, in a bigger perspective other than the perspective that you've been seeing. And so he says, he was helping him to use the power of his mind by seeing the stars like what? What did he say? Count the stars. Count your descendants. You are going to have a big family. In other words, he's saying, you see the stars like children. And this is helping his belief become what it is he believes. It's helping his belief. As his mind aligns with divine source, all creation, God himself, he is helping Abram to align his mind as his. And I don't particularly like to use God in the sense of he or she or his. But here it is, God causing Abram, to align himself as God, to align himself in the mind of God, to align himself and to think and to function and to operate as he was created. How was he created? In the image and the likeness, the attributes, the characteristics, the functioning, the abilities of God. He was operating in what he was created from, the very essence. Here it is, Abram. Operate in the very essence of what you have been created. He was putting an image in the mind of Abram. It is a promise to you, Abram, that I have put in your mind. This shows you the power of your mind. This shows you the ability of your mind. This shows you the capabilities that you have within you. Here it is. God is showing Abram as an example to us today that we have the same ability, the same capabilities, the same abilities to function in this manner. So I am encouraging you to use your mind. Take back those faculties that belong to you. Many of our thoughts have been hijacked by the thoughts of others. And so I am encouraging you to take back what is originally yours. You have been anointed, graced to think. And so you now have to operate in that capacity what God, all creation, divine source has given you. The ability to think. I speak over you that you have the ability to use the mind that was given to you to reason, to make the right decisions in life. You don't need a book to make that decision for you. That decision maker is on the inside of you. And you can make decisions that are beneficial for your life, for you, your children, for your children's children. You can make sound quality decisions for life. And they don't have to be decisions dictated by others and how you should do it in your house and what you should do over here and how you should govern yourself with this and how you should live. And all these things are men's own convictions. They have nothing to do with you. Absolutely nothing to do with you. You have your own personal conviction when it comes to certain things in your life. And you have to know that. You have to take that back. That's your God-given authority and ability to do. There are certain things that convict me that don't convict you. But my convictions have nothing to do with yours at all. And so we can't preach, we can't teach that my convictions are the convictions that are necessary for your life, because that is not truth. And so we have to understand that, because many of us are on a different journey. We're not on the same lane. We're not in the same on the same plane. So we're going to whatever it is that we're going to. And so we must continue to take possession of our mind. It belongs to you. I am awakening your consciousness to the fact that you have a mind of your own and you have the ability to use it. And don't allow yourself to be hijacked any longer. You are able to think. You hear me? You are able to think. And so use those faculties, that capability that you have to think. Use your mind. And so, like I said before, here it was, God, divine source, all creation, talking to Abram, giving him an image of how great his mind is, how expansive his mind is, how creative his mind is, by showing him the stars alone. He said, can you count them? And just as you're able to count them, that's how great your descendants will be. Do you see the capacity, the limitlessness? There's no limit to God. There's no limit to life. There's no limit to creativity. There's no limit to moving. There's no limit to function. The limits are created in our mind because we have let other people speak to our minds and tell us that we are limited in our capabilities. And I come to tell you, there is no limit what God can do. And when we say that, we're saying there is no limit what you can do, because there is no separation between you and God. There never has been and there never will be. Where did we get that mentality from? Men. Men taught us that. Men told us that we were separate from God. That's what they told us. This was the great invention to sidetrack us, to hijack us, to keep us in a place of control and manipulation. Oh, I know I'm going to get in trouble with this live, but it's okay. But you can no longer be manipulated, controlled, bamboozled, hoodwinked, told a lie when it's not truth. And the scripture says they'll believe a lie before they believe truth. But immediately we equate that to what it's saying in the Bible. But let me tell you, there are many lies that have been told to us, and the Bible was used to do it. Come on now. Come on now. This is some preachers won't say, but I'm one of those preachers that will. There are some things that were told to us that were lies, and they were not truth because they were man's interpretations of what the scripture said. Come on through here. Come on through here. They were men's interpretations of what the scripture says, and therefore, because their interpretations were off, they were lies and they were not truth. And these things were used as tactics of manipulation to keep us controlled in a controlled environment in order that we may not think, and people were able to take advantage of us because they used the Bible as the tool to do it. Oh my God, oh my God. And so many of us are still walking around in that mentality in the name that we say that we're free. And so we have to understand that you're not free if you're not capable to think properly. You're not free if you don't have the mind and the consciousness and the self-awareness to be able to think clearly and make decisions for your life. You're not free. And so we have to take our freedom back. And one of the freedoms is our mind. Take your mind back. And I'm going to keep on saying it until he takes the breath, until I take my last breath in my body, that we've got to take our minds back and stop allowing religion to dictate and control how we are supposed to live in life. Only God, come on now, only God that created us in the very image and the likeness has that ability. Man does not have that ability. I'll say it again. Man does not have that ability. But listen, only God, only you, only all creation, only divine source has that ability. You are the master of your destiny. You have the ability. It's been placed in your hand to be a steward over what it is that you have been given. And one of those things to be a steward over is your own life. Many people talk about, well, you're going to answer in the end, but what you did with your life. I'm going to answer in the end for what I allowed to control my life. Come on now. Come on now. The influences, the voices that kept me bound. That's what I'm answering for. And sometimes you answer in life. It's not you're going to get to the other side and you're going to stand, you're going to answer for that. No, what you're going to answer for is yourself and say, listen, you had so much potential, but you did nothing with it because you allowed people to control you and keep you in a box and tell you that you cannot do this and you cannot do that. And if you do this, you're going to miss the mark. And if you do that, this is going to happen to you. And if you do that, you're going to end up here. And if you do that, you go here. But if you do that, you're going to go here. Listen, let me share something with you. You need to live your life and you need to live it to its fullest. Live it to its fullest because it's given to you. Live it with no regrets. Live it to its fullest. What do you think it means when it says that I've come that you might have life and have that life more abundantly? That means I come that you might live and experience everything life has to offer you. Everything life has to offer you. You need to experience it because it belongs to you. And one thing I've learned is that I know the things that I will not do, and I know the things that I will do. I am not going to do things that are detrimental to my body. I'm not going to do things any longer that are detrimental to my mental health. I'm not going to do things that are detrimental to my safety. Come on now. I'm not going to do those things because I am a master of my life. I've learned to discipline myself in areas. So I'm not going to overeat because I'm disciplined in that area. I'm not going to be oversexed because I'm disciplined in that area. And so many times, and in Christendom, we did this to people. We made them more curious than they really were, because we tried to keep them from doing things that their body was naturally functioned to do. So here it is. Here it is. We have people out of control. We have people who can't get enough of things. It's because we shelter them from experiences that were vital to their life. But listen, life teaches you, and you learn to discipline yourself in areas. And if you're not self-disciplined in areas, then you seek the help that is necessary in order for you to be disciplined. You need people sometimes to help you, to teach you how to diet properly, not to starve yourself, but to diet properly so that you don't overeat. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. It is time for us to think and stop living these lives. And then we see so much stuff. And I have to be honest. We see so much stuff happening around us is because we have had so many people. And no, okay. Let me just say this, because let me get this out. We see so much going on around us. And I can only talk about where I am. We see this in Christendom, fallen preachers. And I'm going to talk about it because that's a part of what I'm a part of. Fallen preachers. And we call it falling into sin, and people doing things that are not becoming. Have you ever asked the question why? And it's not that it's a lack of the power of God in people's lives. We've been saying that, but that's not true. It's not the lack of the power of God in people's lives. People are people. And I don't care how much power you have. You can speak in tongues from 8 a.m. to 12 a.m. midnight. That still does not give you, that still does not keep you from doing things or keep you from making errors in your life. That's life. And too long we have brainwashed people into thinking like that, and it's not beneficial for their life. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And we've got to stop this perpetrating. And then when we see all the stuff happening, now this is the thing that gets me. And yes, I'm just going to talk about this today because it must be on me for a reason. This is the thing that gets me. We hype. We build people up. We hype them up. We oh, that's the greatest preacher I ever heard. And oh my God, I'm with you. I'm following you. I'm with you. But as soon as whoever that is that you hyped up slips or deliberately does something, the ones that were your hecklers, the ones that cheered you on, are the ones who crucify you. And we got to stop that. If we would stop pretending in the beginning and be real and honest about who we are, what we're capable of doing, and be honest, I believe that people would have more respect for the cloth, more respect for the clergy. But because we stand before these people as if we are beyond some of the things that we are preaching to, and it's vice versa. The ones who teach and the ones who hear, or it's vice versa. We do the same things to one another. It's this never-ending cycle of disappointment. This is why I say we've got to take back the authority that has been given to us when it comes to our mind. And stop letting people put us in places that we are not. You're not there. Just say you're not there. I'm not there. I'm a man. I may mess up. I may slip. I may mess up. I may fool around. I'm a man. You're a woman. You may slip up every now and then. But that doesn't make you come on now, a non-believer, a sinner, all this stuff that we call. This is life. And people have been doing this for generations. And the very Bible that we read, it happened right there. So again, this is nothing new. Nothing is new under the sun. We just don't have people who will be honest and talk about these things and be truthful and transparent and stop playing these games. We have played games. Yes, I'm still promoting thought, consciousness, and self-awareness. All of this ties into this. We're helping one another to develop, grow, and expand. We have to expand in our thought capacities. We have to develop and grow in our thought capacities. And if we don't do that, we're going to always be on this never-ending cycle, over and over, repeating the same old foolish things over and over again, because we won't be honest, we won't be transparent, and we won't be real. Oh, come on through here. I know I ain't gonna get no likes on this one, and you probably won't view it, and you'll probably have a lot of comments, but somebody has to tell the truth. Somebody has to tell the truth. We've got to stop pretending and be honest and transparent and be real. I don't know how I got over here, but I guess I need to be here because it deals with thought. We've got to think again. We've got to think again. Think again. Tell somebody, think again. Think again. No, it doesn't make the power of God less because of our shortcomings and what we consider to be shortcomings, because I don't look at them as shortcomings. I just look at them as life. You made it, you do those things. But you know what your boundaries are. No one can create those for you. You must create your own boundaries and limits. And just like I give myself room. Come on now. Yes, you got to give yourself room. If you don't give yourself room for growth, you won't grow. There is aches and pain in physical growth. They're called growing pains. So those growing pains don't feel good. Yes, I messed up. Yes, I did it. Yes, I said it. Yes, I cussed them. Yes, I did it. I did all of that. But that's part of growth. Yes, I used lazy language. Yes, I said something out of the way. Yes, I did it. But it's okay. That doesn't change anything about you. That doesn't change anything about you and God. Woo, woo, woo. I know I said a lot, but I'm telling you the truth. That doesn't change anything. None of that changes anything. That doesn't change what you call salvation to your life. Doesn't change anything. Oh, okay, I'm out. I think I done went over my time. I went over my time this morning. But I just wanted to share that with you. And I go back and say to you again, it was what God did with Abram to show the capacity of his mind, to give him an image of that there is greatness in him, to open his vision, to open his mind, that it expands, that there is greatness there, Abraham, and to use Abram to use the power of your mind to think bigger. Can you see how vast your family is, Abram? Can you say that to yourself? Can you see how massive and great your mind is, the power of your mind to think beyond you? There's greater, y'all. I'm telling you, there's greater on the other side of our shortcomings. There is greater. You have to look at it and see. One thing I've learned is duality is me. Good, bad, ugly. All of that's within me. Duality. It is within me. Good and evil is within me. Come on now. But when you're immature, you can't look at that. But when you're mature, you understand that's just a part of who I am. And I embrace every part of me. One doesn't outrule the other. It is a part of me. One of them doesn't control me. The other doesn't control me. But I am living free. I am free. I am free in my mind. And those things that are considered, that people consider to be bad, are not the things that control me. When I become the master of my life, I know there are things I'm not going to do. I just refuse to do it. I often ask the question, why do people do some of the things that they do? And I have to say they do it because that's them. That has nothing to do with me. And so I've learned to live my life like that. And I know I'm not finna go out and deliberately hurt you. That's not my heart to do. Have I hurt people? Yes. But I'm not deliberately hurting people. Have I been good to people? Yes. Have I been horrible to people? Yes, I have. And I can honestly say that with a free spirit. And say, yes, I've done those things. Have I made sure I try to right my wrongs in people's lives? Yes, I have. But does that mean I may not run into a situation where I may treat somebody bad? And I may. But that doesn't break me and put me in hell. No. Because immediately when I recognize that, I deal with it. And so you have to put that into practice. Practice makes permanent, not perfect, but it makes permanent in your life. And so I began to deal with things in my life. Conversation. There was a time I wasn't a talker. I didn't like confrontation. But as I'm getting older and I'm growing and developing in myself, I'm learning, let's have conversation about it. What did I say? What did I do? How did I say it? I didn't mean for it to sound that way. I didn't mean for it to come out that way. And so you begin to deal with those areas in your life. And it's okay. It doesn't break you and send you to hell. And you separated from God because you said that, or you said a few cuss words, you got mad at the person in line, and all this stuff don't separate you from God. You cannot be separated from God. God and you are one. There is no separation. All right, I'm out. I'm going to shut up. But I need to share that with you. I need you to expand your mind. I need you to see the power that lies within you. There's a power that lies within you. And your mind is aligned with God's. You hear me? Your mind is aligned with God's promise through the creation of an image in the mind. Let me read that again. Your mind is aligned with God's promise through the creation of an image in your mind. What is that image in your mind? Because it is that which God has placed in your mind. It is aligned with Him to produce. All right. I love you guys. I'm out of here. I am out of here for real. This is Antonio Carr with Mind Matters 2020. Remember to go to our website, mindmattersxx.com. Our merchandise is on there. Our bracelets are on there. We've marked down our bracelets to $12. Two that are dual, that are connected, are $24. I need you to go out there and purchase that jewelry. Empty that site out for me. I'd appreciate it. Everything is marked down to $12 and $24 for two bracelets. Again, mindmattersxx.com. You can Google that, mindmattersxx.com. Also, remember to subscribe to us on YouTube, Mind Matters XX. You can pull that on YouTube as well. Remember to subscribe for us. We're on all the social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. So please begin to subscribe to those social media sites as well. Again, we'll be back here at the same time on next week at 11:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for Mind Matters 2020. Remember, we're here promoting thought consciousness and self-awareness, helping each other to develop, grow, and expand. I'll see you again on next week. Shalom, Ashe, so it is, and so shall it be. I love you guys and appreciate you so much. Remember to share this video. God bless you.